And so I tell you this, be now and forever centered upon yourself. Look to see what you are being, doing, and having in any given moment, not what's going on with another. It is not in the action of another, but in your reaction, that your salvation will be found. He cannot be there, but somehow this makes it sound as though we should not mind what others do to us in relationships. They can do anything, and so long as we hold our equilibrium, keep ourselves centered, and all that good stuff, nothing can touch us. But others do touch us. Their actions do sometimes hurt us. It is when the hurt comes into relationships that I don't know what to do. It's all very well to say stand aside from it, cause it to mean nothing. But that's easier said than done. I do get hurt by the words and actions of others in relationships. The day will come when you will not. That will be the day on which you realize and actualize the true meaning of relationships. The true reason for them. It is because you have forgotten this that you react the way you do. But that is all right. That is part of the growth process. It is part of evil. It is soul work you are up to in relationship. Yet that is a grand understanding, a grand remembering. Until you remember this and remember then also how to use a relationship as a tool in the creation of self, you must work at the level at which you are. The level of understanding, the level of willingness, the level of remembrance. And so there are things you can do when you react with pain and hurt to what another is being, saying, or doing. The first is to admit honestly to yourself and to another exactly how you are feeling. This many of you are afraid to do because you think it will make you look bad. Somewhere, deep inside of you, you realize that it probably is ridiculous for you to feel that way. It probably is small of you. You are bigger than that. But you can't help it. You still feel that way. There is only one thing you can do. You must honor your feeling. For honoring your feelings means honoring yourself. And you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. How can you ever expect to understand and honor the feelings of another if you cannot honor the feelings within yourself? The first question in any interactive process with another is, now who am I? And who do I want to be in relationship to that? Often you do not remember who you are and do not know who you want to be until you try out a few ways of being. That is why honoring your truest feelings is so important. If your first feeling is a negative feeling, simply having the feeling is frequently all that is needed to step away from it. It is when you have the anger, have the upset, have the disgust, have the rage own, the feeling of wanting to hurt back that you can disown these first feelings as not who you want to be. The master is one who has lived through enough such experiences to know in advance what her final choices are. She does not need to try out anything. She's worn these clothes before and knows they do not fit. They are not her. And since a master's life is devoted to the constant realization of self as one knows oneself to be, such ill-fitting feelings would never be entertained. That is why masters are imperturbable in the face of what others might call calamity. A master blesses calamity, for the master knows that from the seeds of disaster and all experience comes the growth of self. And the master's second life purpose is always growth. For once one is fully self-realized, there's nothing left to do except be more of that. It is at this stage that one moves from soul work to God work. For this is what I am up to. I will assume for the purposes of this discussion that you are still up to soul work. You are still seeking to realize, make real who you truly are. Life I will give you bountiful opportunities to create that. Remember, life is not a process of discovery. Life is a process of creation. You can create who you are over and over again. Indeed, you do every day. As things now stand, you do not always come up with the same answer. However, given an identical outer experience, on day one you may choose to be patient, loving, and kind in relationship to it. On day two, you may choose to be angry, ugly, and sad. The master is one who always comes up with the same answer, and that answer is always the highest choice. In this, the master is imminently predictable. Conversely, the student is completely unpredictable. One can tell how one is doing on the road to mastery by simply noticing how predictably one makes the highest choice in responding or reacting to any situation. Of course, this throws open the question, what choice is highest? That is a question around which have revolved the philosophies and theologies of man since the beginning of time. If the question truly engages you, you are already on your way to mastery. For it is still true that most people continue to be engaged by another question altogether. Not, what is the highest choice, but what is the most profitable? Or, how can I lose the least? When life is lived from a standpoint of damage control or optimum advantage, the true benefit of life is forfeited, the opportunity is lost, the chance is missed. For a life lived thusly is a life lived from fire, and that life speaks a lie about you, for you are not fear, you are love. Love that needs no protection, love that cannot be lost. Yet you will never know this in your experience if you continually answer the second question and not the first. For only a person who thinks there is something to gain or to lose asks the second question. And only a person who sees life in a different way, who sees self as a higher being, who understands that winning or losing is not the test, but only loving or failing to love only, that person asks the first. He who asks the second question says, I am my body. She who asks the first says, I am my soul. Yea, let all those who have ears to hear, listen. For I tell you this, at the critical juncture in all human relationships, there is only one question. What would love do now? No other question is relevant. No other question is meaningful. No other question has any importance to your soul. Now we come upon a very delicate point of interpretation. For this principle of love-sponsored action has been widely misunderstood. And it is this misunderstanding which has led to the resentments and angers of life, which, in turn, have caused so many to stray from the path. For centuries, you have been taught that love-sponsored action arises out of the choice to be, do, and have whatever produces the highest good for another. Yet I tell you this, the highest choice is that which produces the highest good for you. As with all profound spiritual truth, this statement opens itself to immediate misinterpretation. The mystery clears a bit the moment one decides what is the highest good one could do for oneself, and when the absolute highest choice is made, the mystery dissolves. The circle completes itself, and the highest good for you becomes the highest good for another. It may take lifetimes to understand this, and even more lifetimes. The implement for this truth revolves around an even greater one. What you do for yourself, you do for another. What you do for another, you do for the self. This is because you and the other are one, and this is because there is naught but you. All the masters who have walked your planet have taught this. Verily, verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Yet this has remained for most people merely a grand esoteric truth with little practical application. In fact, it is the most practically applicable esoteric truth of all time. It is important in relationships to remember this truth, for without it, relationships will be very difficult. Let's go back to the practical applications of this wisdom and step away from the purely spiritual, esoteric aspect of it. For now, so often, under the old understandings, people well-meaning and well-intentioned, and many very religious did what they thought would be best for the other person in their relationships. Sadly, all this produced in many cases, in most cases, was continued abuse by the other, continued mistreatment, continued dysfunction in the relationship.